All right. We got the Rode mic with the dead cat on. Test July 4th, 2020. Making a Starbucks run with Mayan. He's up earlier than usual for him. But we'll see how the mic test goes. We're going to just take the bike trail here and run to a Starbucks using some back paths so we can keep Mayan off the streets, even though he's doing really well. We've ridden several times downtown at night, and him and Bub both are just doing really great, keeping up and keeping an eye on traffic. Got the canal route over here. Bike trails run pretty far north and south, which is pretty nice. They're in decent condition. And then a little bit beat up like everything else. But I like taking this route to the Starbucks that we're going to because we got bike trails, and then we have another little side path. It's more of a sidewalk than a bike trail, but it pretty much goes right to the Starbucks on Central and Hillside, which is a pretty busy intersection. So we've got crosswalk lights here. Let's see if this one wants to work. The last one there, I hit it twice and it just didn't go. So we're excited. In about 4 days, my brother's XR is going to be showing up from Sup Rents. We actually have a tracking number. Estimated ship date, careful. Estimated ship date the 8th of July. So we're excited about that. All right, let's go. It's a one-way street as well. Keep those knees bent when you're getting over those bumps. Get on the right side. Nice. That's the other thing that's cool about this area here is on some rainy days, I've been able to ride underneath the highway here, and it's perfectly dry. So this is the other kind of off path. So the bike trail continued to go north, so we're heading east now. And we've got this little area here. It's usually really quiet as a biker comes by as I say that. I usually rarely run into anybody over here. Sometimes there's people walking their dog. But what time is it? So it's a little after 9 in the morning, and it's probably getting close to 80 degrees. We did have rain last night, which is good because everybody's been blowing off fireworks like crazy. I think it's supposed to get up to, I'll have to check again, but last I remember seeing it said 99 degrees, which is freaking hot. All right, this crosswalk should be working fine and dandy. Oh yeah. Probably. They were blowing off like crazy last night. Yeah, it got really nice and cool last night, so we went out for a kind of a float just as it was getting dark. Went over to our usual spot at East High. Thank you. Dogs. We got dogs. Alright, and here we are. This is the major intersections of Hillside and Central there. It's a nice little path because we're able to avoid all the busy streets and not get hit by cars. Alright, we're gonna get our coffee and then we'll be back on the road. Box chocolate milk. Alright. I think we have other customers coming. I got my iced caramel macchiato with coconut milk. And let's see if I can do this. If I can GoPro and drink coffee at the same time. A little bit of a bumpy sidewalk. Did your feet shift? His feet shifted coming off of a bump. Switch hands here. You're done? All right, well, we'll find a trash can. These box milks are tiny. There's a trash can. Trash can. Sometimes you just gotta jump off. Put it in there. We got some backyard campers. For that, we need to pitch our tent in our backyard. All Alright, so while we were at Starbucks, I went ahead and tested the mic sound. I think it sounded pretty good. Let's go. Whoa. That was sketchy. Well, it was pretty wide, so that was... I got real quiet on the way back, didn't I? Not used to having a microphone on me so I can continue talking. I'm used to having to point the camera up to my face so you guys can hear me. So yeah, we'll adjust to that. But it looks like everything connected great. Even when I stopped it and went back to restart it, it was still detecting the mic was plugged in, so that's good. Because I have heard of issues where with any kind of external mic plugged into the media mod, things like quick capture do not work a lot of the time. So basically what happens is you can have your mic plugged in, you push in quick capture to start recording thinking you're using your external mic, and what happens is it either does not record any sound at all, or it ends up recording sound through the GoPro mic, or in this case probably the media mod. Got some bikers up here. There's a biker party up here. On your right. All right, ready? Let's go. Got bikers up here. Actually good if you want to go. I'm gonna try this broken light again just to figure out what's going on. Like, this thing is all, look at this thing, it's all open. It's like somebody turned it off or something. Here, let's go. Oh, no, it's working. I don't know why those wires are all hanging out of there.
But when we did it the other way, this one didn't work.
Yeah, that one didn't work. That's weird. Make our usual east high sweep over here. We'll ride some lines for precision. And the mine's doing really well. I always like riding the lines, plus it helps me work on my switch. The idea was to ride switch about 50% of my ride. Realistically though, it's only been about maybe 25%. So speaking of that, I think we're gonna go into switch now. So here we are, 4th of July. Oh, people are shooting off fireworks here. 4th of July, surprisingly a lot of traffic. I heard it's going to be like, you know, the lowest traveled 4th of July weekend possibly ever due to the coronavirus. Saw some interesting stuff. So Kansas, here where I'm at, we are the 3rd top state in the country for buying fireworks. Number 2, Nebraska, which is the state north of us, and number 1, Missouri, which is the state to the east of us. So, like their fireworks. Yesterday was my brother's birthday. We're very excited because I had ordered a XR from Suprents probably the middle of June. And you know, they did state on their website that due to COVID, it'd be 1 to 2 weeks before shipping. So I let 2 weeks go by, and then I'm like, hey, is this thing gonna ship or what? And they said they should be shipping next week, which would be this week. And yesterday was my brother's birthday, so I went ahead and shot a text out to him. I was like, hey, today's my brother's birthday. I would love to be able to tell him that his XR has shipped today. And like immediately I got a text back saying, yeah, we just got an XR, 151 miles, used XR, 151 miles. Do you want us to ship it out? Like, yes, please. So it shipped. It's supposed to be here on the 8th, and we're super excited about it. So, yeah. All right, this is our little training spot here where these guys like to practice going off curbs and popping up curb. Don't do it enough. Oh, you all right? Mine just wiped out. All right, so this is gonna be a test. Mine's standing right in front of me. My microphone is on my chest. Here, let me kind of see if I can show you here. That little white fuzzy is the microphone, and mine's standing right in front of me. And tell me how you fell, Mayan. I'm curious to know.
Well, I went down that curb and
That curb right there.
it changed, my foot was, it changed from this to this.
Okay, so you jumped off?
And I jumped off like this, and then it went like this,
And you fell down. Okay, so we're gonna see, because he's, you know, not directly in front of me, he's right around me. He's talking to me, but we're gonna see if that picked up, if the mic picked that up, because I'm not sure what the range is on this thing. I'm not even sure if you're gonna hear the noise of us riding on the streets. I do like having those ambient sounds as we're riding along. The sounds of traffic, you know, pretty much all the ambient sounds but the wind. Looks like we're at about almost 19 minutes. So I think I might set this camera up and we're gonna try and ride some lines, and I'm gonna test how far away I can get from the camera while riding lines before the mic cuts out, just to kind of see how that works. So, be right back. All right, this is gonna be a real quick test. I've only got 10% battery. I didn't bring my extra batteries, so it's gonna run it and then it's gonna die, but we'll see how long the microphone picks up. Oh, where's my board?
It's harder to do it on there. Because my feet are small.
All right, so I'm just gonna start riding these lines here. I'm gonna do some 90-degree turns, see how far the mic can pick me up. I'm sure the mic's gonna cut out when it's not facing, once I get a certain distance and it loses sight of the mic, it'll probably cut out pretty quick. So testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. And we're testing again. Now my chest is facing away from the camera. And now the sensor should be reading by the camera. It now has line of sight. We're gonna lose it again here. And now my chest is covering up the line of sight of the microphone. And we're possibly back. Not sure the range of this thing. I've seen some test videos and the range does seem to be pretty far. So now I've lost line of sight, so might be cut out here. And now we're facing the camera again, so we should have line of sight. And my battery is probably about dead. It was at 10%, so surely it's gone now. Out of sight here, no sight, back in sight. So let's see if we're cutting off there. Testing, testing, testing. I'm gonna test here. Test. Did it cut out? Can you still hear me? Did it cut out? Test. Did it cut out on that last line? Test. Can you hear me now? Got to explore the limitations of the microphone so that we don't lose precious sound. So now as we're getting closer here, I am going to check the battery because I'm pretty sure it's dead. Still recording? All right, so we'll see how that test sounds. I'll just do some slalom. So now my back is facing the camera here, so I don't know if you can hear me. But then we'll turn around and do it coming back and see where it starts to pick up. But my body was pretty much blocking the entire microphone there. So let's come down here. What's that?
I almost did.
You almost did? We can practice that in the grass. That's where I'm practicing my 180s.